guys, welcome to the Homestead. So I know I've been doing a lot of videos on homeschooling lately. I promise this is the last one for a while. We've got a lot of other things to get into, but the reality is while the news is being dominated by all of the other things going on in the world, a lot of the crazy stuff, we're missing all of the homeschool stuff. So today we're going to talk about another article I want to share with you because I think that the left is on the attack. The public school system is on the attack of homeschooling lately. They're doing it because all these things are going on and you're not paying attention. So I'm trying to, show you the things that are happening right now. Also, at the end of the video, we're going to talk about the recent homeschool curriculum changes that we've done here at the Homestead. So a lot of you guys have been asking about that. But before we get into all of it, understand that our video today is sponsored by theperfectpickler.com. If you've never done home fermentation, if you want to have a way to grow healthy probiotics at home for very, very cheap compared to how you buy probiotics at the store, perfectpickler.com is the way to go. You can go to perfectpickler.com and pick up one of these kits. This company is owned and operated by my oldest son. Okay, this is a company that we have here on the Homestead. We just finished building a building, or we're just finishing a building here on the Homestead that's going to house all the inventory for perfectpickler.com. And we're starting to ship out merchandise and the products that we make. So perfectpickler.com, you can find more information over at perfectpickler.com there. Anyway, to buy these kits. Okay, so here's the deal. Check out this article. It just came out last week. Over at the Washington Post, homeschooling's rise from fringe to fastest growing form of education. A district-by-district look at homeschooling's explosive growth, which a post-analysis finds has far outpaced the rate of private and public schools. It starts off, homeschooling has become by a wide margin America's fastest growing form of education as families from upper Manhattan to eastern Kentucky embrace a largely unregulated practice once confined to the ideological fringe. So right off the bat, they're going to let everyone know who's reading the article that this is a bunch of crazy people. The analysis, based on data the Post collected for thousands of school districts across the country, reveals that a dramatic rise in homeschooling at the onset of the pandemic has largely sustained itself through the 2022-2023 academic year, defying predictions that most families would return to schools that have dispensed with mask mandates and other COVID-19 restrictions. Now, like we've talked about before, why did families jump into this homeschool arena? Number one, they saw the curriculum and saw that it was severely lacking their children. This curriculum that the public schools sent home with their kids during the pandemic is horrible. I don't want my kids being taught this garbage. And number two, the bar is set so low so that when my kids enter into what's called the real world, I know they're going to be severely impacted and they will not have a good of chance of success as if I took matters into my own hands and brought into their world a better curriculum. The curriculum is horrible and the bar set too low for success. Those are the two reasons why people saw this and they were like, oh, there's no way I'm putting my kids back in that public school system. Now, the map that they put together has a percentage increase in total homeschool student enrollment since the 2017-2018 school year. So we're going to start from that. That's the starting point. And then look at the increases. California, a whopping 78%. DC, a whopping 108%. New York, a whopping 103%. These are all liberal bastions of education. and this is one of the things I mentioned before in the other videos. Even the liberals are pulling their kids out in droves because they realize even these people are switched on enough to understand that their kids are not going to succeed if this is what they're being taught in the public school system. The growth demonstrates homeschooling's arrival as a mainstay of the American educational system, with its impact on society, on public schools, and above all, on hundreds of thousands of children now learning outside a conventional academic setting only beginning to be felt. As we read through this article, I want you to be switched on and aware of how this article is trying to focus opinion on what they believe is the real concern with people homeschooling their children. Obtaining accurate information about the homeschooling population in the United States is challenging. In 11 states, including Texas, Michigan, Connecticut, and Illinois, officials do not require notification when families decide to educate their children at home or monitor how those students are faring. 7 additional states have unreliable tallies of homeschooled kids, the Post found. The Post was able to collect reliable data from 32 states and the District of Columbia, representing more than 60% of the country's school-age population. In 18 of those states, private and public school enrollment figures were available for comparison. The resulting analysis, which includes homeschool registration figures for nearly 7,000 individual school districts, is the most detailed look to date at an unprecedented period of growth in American homeschooling. And it gives you a little tool here in the article to look up those numbers in your district if that data is provided. Now, this is where it gets fun. It says, this is a fundamental change of life, and it's astonishing that it's so persistent. It's not really astonishing when you think about the fact that people have seen the curriculum and how bad it is in the public school systems, and that the bar is continually being set lower and lower to allow the lowest common denominator of students to pass rather than hold them accountable and hold them to standards. Parents who want their children to succeed are saying, I'm out of here. The rise of homeschooling is all the more remarkable, he added, given the immense logistical challenges many parents must overcome to directly supervise their kids' education. The personal costs to homeschooling are more than just tuition. They are a restructuring of the way your family works. That's exactly what the family in America needs, a complete and total restructuring. And yes, it's an immense logistical challenge. I mean, you just can't flip a switch and start doing this. You have to take into account, money, finances, work time, all this stuff. But the reality is, if you're a parent who loves your children, you will make changes. You will see what the cost is, weigh the cost, and make the change based on what the success is going to be for my kids. Most parents want the best for their children. If you want the best for your children and realize that this is going to determine their success and failure in life, you will do what's needed in order to achieve their success. Celebrated by home education advocates, the rise has also led critics of weak regulation to sound alarms. We've been talking about that in the last few videos. Homeschooled kids don't have to submit to any form of testing for academic progress in most states, and even states that require assessments often offer loopholes, according to the Coalition for Responsible Home Education, which urges greater oversight. As I have mentioned before, when we start implementing forced testing, the states are quickly, apt to remove that testing because it makes the public school systems look so horrible. And so the public school system says, hey, we're going to implement this testing and we'll show those people just how bad homeschooling is for their kids. Meanwhile, the homeschoolers come in and they blow away the test scores, and the public schools are like, oh, we got to get rid of this quick because that shows just how bad our system is. Many of America's new homeschooled children have entered a world where no government official will ever check on what or how well they are being taught. From your mouth to God's ears. Policymakers should think, wow, this is a lot of kids, said Elizabeth Bartholet, an emeritus professor at Harvard Law School and child welfare advocate. Child welfare advocate, that means Karen. We should worry about whether they're learning anything. You can check out that article for yourself. I'll put a link in the description below to that. Here's the deal, homeschoolers. Understand that you are now an effective voting bloc. There are enough of you, a large amount of you, that have pulled away from the public education system, the Department of Education, the government education system, that people now in certain places fear you. They fear you. And so they're trying to, again, like I've said before in other videos, regain lost ground. They're trying to pull you back into the system, and there is a movement afoot to force you back into their system because outside of their system, they lose control. They lose control. So now, you must, as you go to vote, and I know, is voting really worth it? Does it affect anything? I mean, it really doesn't affect anything if they're pulling ballots out from under tables at 2 a.m. But you must understand that you are a voting bloc that they fear. Go vote. Hold your politicians accountable. If the politicians do not support homeschooling, do not support those politicians. There needs to be litmus test on politicians these days. All these no good for nothing lawyers that try to get involved in politics. Educate your kids. Be involved. Go to these homeschool conventions, go to these homeschool conferences, and be a voice. All right, we'll leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think. Put a comment below. Let me know I'm right. Let me know I'm wrong. Hit that thumbs up button if you agree. Hit the thumbs down button if you disagree. As long as you're interacting with the video, I appreciate it. All right, so what are we doing for homeschool curriculum on my end? What changes are we making? Now, if you don't know, I lost my wife to cancer in 2019, and she was putting together all of the homeschool curriculum that we do here on the Homestead, and primarily focused on things coming from the Charlotte Mason worldview. Okay, and so she put everything together from scratch. So when she passed away, I was looking at everything and going, oh my gosh, how do I get my head wrapped around this? I don't know. And so instead of putting my kids in the public school system, which was not going to be an option, I went ahead and did Liberty University. So some other people recommended that to me, and they said they were fine with it. And so just as a way to tread water for a little bit, that's what we did. We did Liberty University. It's the online academy, and my kids did that from home. As we have gone through that, there's some things I don't like about it. There's some things I do like about it, but I wanted to make a change, and we decided to go this year with the Bob Jones University curriculum for the most part. They provide workbooks. They provide a lot of online. Most of it's all online, but they have workbooks that accompany all this stuff. And so this is like the English version just for my my youngest son, Caleb. And it's a workbook, and he fills this out, and I check it on a daily basis. And there's an online thing that goes with each lesson that's in here, and I grade that as well. And you can go through that and just see how they're doing, the test and the quizzes and all that stuff. It's all online. But again, it has accompanying workbooks and other stuff to go along with it. And then we're also using, for some of the things like science, the Apologia curriculum. And I have found that to be really neat. My kids so far like this. They like the Bob Jones and they like the Apologia. And so we're going through that. So check out their curriculums. Again, they provide workbooks. They provide online access to all of the stuff. And it gives you, the parent, online access to all the stuff that the kids are doing. So you can monitor their progress and help grade their stuff, and then just go along with it, and the quizzes too. I think the Bob Jones thing has a thing called the Homeschool Hub, where you can log in to view progress and see your kids' progress and grades and grade all their things. I really find that helpful when I can log into a hub and just kind of see an overview of how my kids are doing at a glance. And then if I need to dial down into deeper details, I can do that. The Homeschool Hub for Bob Jones University allows you to do that. So I like that. And then, so that's going to be what we're doing for English, history, reading, science, and then also math. We're using math for teaching textbooks. My kids love teaching textbooks. We've been with them for years. They absolutely hated the math curriculum over at Liberty University, and that's one of the reasons why we eventually switched. They just could not stand it, and they've always done well with teaching textbooks, and I know a lot of you guys who have left comments throughout the years, you like teaching textbooks as well. I think that they have a really good way of putting forth their curriculum and teaching it. And so on top of all that, we are doing talkbox.mom, and we're doing French. So this is a foreign language curriculum. In fact, I was planning on getting this one opened up here. Okay. Does your principal of your homeschool carry a knife? Okay. I'll show you what's in this box. This is the latest box for the stuff. It all comes nice and neatly packaged. And so I have stickers all over the place. We're learning French. The kids are doing a great job at learning French. We're really watching movies, French subtitles, things like that. So we're learning French through that. A great movie that I really liked that we watched a while back was called Delicious. It was I believe a true story. I believe it's a true story. It may not be. But it was called Delicious, and it was about a guy who opened up his own restaurant in France. And so check it out. It's all French, in French. It's got English subtitles. But again, movies like that are what I'm exposing my kids when we're coming. Because when it comes to learning a foreign language, you really have to immerse yourself in it. And so we're doing that with music. We're doing that with movies. And we're doing it with curriculum. And so what's this one going to be? It gives an overview. The music fun sheet. Okay, I guess we're going to be listening to some music. And this also comes with an app on your phone too. I really like this. I'm not giving them a free. They're not paying me to plug them. Challenge. It comes with different challenges and stuff like that, and activities that you do. It's really fun. My kids so far have liked it, and they've learned a lot. And it is catching on. You'll hear them sometimes, saying phrases in French. around the home all the time. Oh yeah, got different flashcards and stuff like that. Why is this not opening? Is it stuck? Oh, there we go. So another challenge to checklist. Anyway, that's what we're doing. I got Bob Jones University, I got Apologia, I got Talkbox.mom, and we're using teaching textbooks for math. So let me know what you think about all that, and let me know what you think about the article. Again, these people are really up on their heels about this fast growth when it comes to homeschooling, and they don't know quite what to do about it, although they know that they need to stop it because, again, you getting out of the system means you getting out of their control. All right, again, leave a comment below, hit that thumbs up button, and also perfectpickler.com, perfectpickler.com. Ferment your vegetables. You can find the kits available at the website. All right, guys, see you next time in the homestead. Bye! It's 2023, and the banks are continuing to struggle and fail. The bottom line on why our country is in so much financial trouble is that we have for years not lived within our means. Government spending in Congress is out of control, and government printing of US dollars has reached no limits. For only the second time in history, we have more debt than our GDP. That means we owe more money than our country is actually worth. See, it used to be said that the US dollar was backed by the gross domestic product. But when the debt exceeds that amount, it's no wonder why so many countries are now refusing to trade in that ever-increasingly worthless currency. That's why you need to safeguard your wealth. You've worked and saved your entire life, and now it's all at risk. Genesis Gold Group is a faith-based business that will help you move your assets into physical gold and silver. Precious metals have stood the test of time during economic failures all throughout history. Call Genesis Gold Group today and let them develop a strategy for your savings, 401k, or self-directed IRA. A strategy of physical gold and silver. You can call the number on the screen or visit them at genesisgoldgroup.com and be sure to say you heard about them from an American Homestead.
Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.